Hello everybody and welcome to this week's aerobic training. I'm Jonathan from the Cambridge Swimming Company, and this week we are focusing on our breathing.
I'm sure that the water won't mind if we rest here for the night and leave before sunrise.
Equipment for this week is paddles, and it's going to be a choice of when you use them. So you can use paddles for the whole thing, you can not use paddles at all, or you can mix and match however you feel comfortable. If you're looking to build a bit more strength endurance, then I'd recommend using the paddles a bit more than you would otherwise. But starting off with the developing group, we're going to do our dry land warm-up as we always do. Make sure we're stretched off, warmed up, ready to go, hop in the pool, and we're going to carry on our warm-up in the water with 100 of easy freestyle and then 100 again of choice stroke, but just a little bit more effort, so up to 70% effort there. Then we're going to our drills, and the drills are more technique driven than breathing. So we're going to start off with our scull progression. So that's where we work on our feel for the water with 25 of sculling, work on our catch with short dog 25, full stroke with an underwater recovery, so that's 25 of long dog, and then finishing off with the 25 of our full freestyle. Then we're going to catch up drill. So catch up is you don't take the next stroke until your arm catches up with the other one, but I want you to try and avoid having your arms crossing over. For those of you who have been with us for a while, will have heard me say this 1,000 times, but it's very important we don't cross our arms over, because that adds extra resistance. We want to have our hands in line with our shoulders, and we don't take this stroke until this hand catches up, and we take the next one, this one catches up, next one, then we go. So 50 of that, and then 50 of normal freestyle. Then we're going to do a 50 of straight arm. So straight arm is something a bit different. We're just mixing up just to see how some of you get on with this. Some people love swimming straight arm. It tends to be something that sprinters do rather than, I'm talking 50 max sprinters, but see how you get on. Something a bit different. So we're going to do 50 of that. There is a video showing you what that looks like, and then a 50 of freestyle. And then we're going to repeat all of those again. So we're doing the whole set of drills twice. And then we're going to go into our main set where we're going to work on endurance, and we're going to alter our breathing patterns as we go, just to practice the different ones. So first 100 of freestyle, and this is at 80%, so we're kind of pushing up to that kind of aerobic threshold. 100 of freestyle with whatever your normal breathing pattern is, and then I want 200 breathing every 2. But I don't want this just to be to one side. So every length of the pool you're in, so be it 25, 50, or the Lido in Jesus Green, breathe to the right once, then to the left, and just alternate as we go. So we're not building in an imbalance into our stroke by breathing every 2. We're still training both sides. So breathe every 2 for 200, breathe every 3 for 200, still at that threshold, that 80% effort. Then we're going to try breathing every 4. Now, some people might find this not enough. It's deliberate. We're trying to practice that. So that's why this one is only 100. But if you find it's not enough, the breathing every 4, do 4, then 2, 4, then 2, 4, then 2. But try some stints of 4 just to get used to it. It's a bit of a breath hold exercise whilst we're still swimming and still under that effort. And then finishing off with a 300 of freestyle with whatever you naturally would normally do as your breathing pattern at 80%. So that's a good big chunk of aerobic swimming there. Then a 100 of easy freestyle just to finish off, loosen you up, ready to go for next week's session, well, the rest of the sessions this week. So that's 1,800 in total. Stretch off in the pool, make sure you relax a little bit, maybe swim another couple of easy lengths if you need to, and then we've got our technique and speed sessions to go later in the week. I shall see you all for that. If you want to get involved in our technical and speed sessions, they'll be coming up later in the week on our Patreon channel, which is patreon.com/Camswim Club. I would love to see you all there. Welcome to the Experienced Groups aerobic session. So paddles are optional. You can use paddles wherever you want, or use them throughout the whole set, or just use them intermittently, or don't use them at all. It's up to you. But paddles are the choice. We're working on our breathing. So starting off, dry land warm up, stretch on the side of the pool before we get in, make sure we're ready to go, then hop in, and an easy freestyle 100 and a choice 200. Just up that intensity a little bit from the easy to 70%. Then we've got a set of drills to do. We're going to do all the drills twice, starting off with our scull progression. So we're going to work on our feel for the water with a 25 of sculling, our catch with short dog, long dog, to work on our full stroke with an underwater recovery, and then a 25 of full freestyle to finish. Then I want 50 of catch up. So catch up, for those who have not done it before, you don't take the next stroke until the other hand catches up, and then you take the next one. Catch up, take the stroke, catch up. It's a bit stop-start, but it means you can focus on the individual arms technique. The thing to avoid is crossing over your hands or touching your hands together, because that adds extra resistance while you're swimming. So keep your hands in line with your shoulders. So you're just catching up in line with, not actually touching. Then a 50 freestyle, then a 50 of straight arm freestyle. So straight arm is what it says. You keep your arm straight for the recovery over the water. And it's used by sprinters more, well, almost exclusively by really short distance, like 50-meter sprinters. And it's a very different feel to the way you swim. It can feel a bit awkward to start with. Some people really like it, some people don't. So we're just trying it to give you the experience of it. So it's 50 of straight arm, there's a video been going there. And then a 50 of your normal freestyle again. And then we repeat all the drills. Then into our main set, we're working on our aerobic training and our breathing patterns. So we're going to do a 200 of normal freestyle. So whatever your breathing pattern is, 200 of that. And all of this main set is at that aerobic threshold of 80%. Then we're going to do breathe every 2 for 200. But what I want you to do is every length, whatever that distance is for the pool you're in, is breathe to the right for one length, left for the next length, right? And alternate as we go. So that although we're breathing every 2, we're not training an imbalance into our stroke. We're breathing both sides. Then another 200 of breathing every 3. So bilateral breathing should be quite normal to most people. Then we'll do 100 of breathing every 4. So we're doing a slightly shorter distance because it's less breathing. And it's a bit of a breath work whilst under load and swimming. If you find that's not enough breaths, then do 4-2, 4-2, 4-2. But try and do every 4 for 100. And then finishing off with a 300 of normal freestyle. So back to whatever your normal breathing pattern would be. Then 100 choice, back down the effort level, and then a real easy 200 freestyle to finish. That's 60-70% effort. So really easy stuff. And then that's 2,200 in total for this group. Make sure you stretch off in the water, relax a little bit, maybe have a couple more lengths, so that you're ready to go for our technique and speed sessions later in the week. I shall see you all there. If you want to get involved in our technical and speed sessions, they'll be coming up later in the week on our Patreon channel, which is patreon.com/Camswim Club. I would love to see you all there. Okay, welcome to the advanced group's aerobic session. We're working on our breathing this week, and for this session, it's optional paddles. So if you want to use paddles for the whole thing, you can. If you want to intermittently use them between different parts of the set, you can. If you want to not use them at all, it's fine. You have the choice. So make sure you do dry land warm up, stretch off before you hop in the water, and then when we get in, easy freestyle 200, and then just up that intensity a little bit for 70% for a 200 again of freestyle. Straight into our drills. We're starting off with our skull progression. Easy for me to say. We're going to do 25 of our sculling, working on our feel for the water, 25 short dog, working on the catch, 25 long dog, and then 25 of full freestyle. Then we're doing 50 of catch up. So catch up, you should all know this, but if you are new, you don't take the next stroke until your hand catches up with that one. Catch up with that one, catch up with that one. Just avoid crossing over or touching your hands together. Keep your hands in line with your shoulders, because we don't want to add any extra resistance. But make sure when you're doing catch up, you're not staying flat in the water. You're still doing your rotation and still go 45 degrees to 45 degrees as we take each stroke. 50 of freestyles, back to normal freestyle, then a 50 of straight arm freestyle. This could be new to some of you. So it's a style of freestyle that's favoured by short distance sprinters, so 50-meter sprinters almost exclusively. You do what it says in tin actually, so your recovery arm is straight as you go through, and it's a bit like a windmill action. There's a video going there. So you're underwater, you still have a catch, you still have that underwater, so it's not completely straight arm, but your recovery is. So 50 of that, and then 50 of freestyle, and then we repeat all those drills, so we'll go through them twice, and then into our main set where we're working on our aerobic training and our breathing patterns. So we're going to start off with a 200 of freestyle, normal breathing pattern. Then a 200 breathing every 2. What I want you to do is every length of whatever distance that is in your pool, swap. So breathe to the right, breathe to the left, then alternate as you go. Do that for 200. Now I want 200 of breathing every 3. So it should be quite normal for most of you. Will have learnt that, I would imagine, at some point. So 200 breathe every 3. Then we're going to do 100 of breathing every 4. So this is a bit of a breath work exercise as well as a swimming exercise. If you find you can't do that and it's not enough breaths, then do 4-2, 4-2, 4-2 as you go. But see how you get on with 4. And then we're going to do 2 200s of freestyle back on your normal breathing pattern that you would normally do. And then that's the aerobic set. So that's a good chunk of aerobic swimming. Then we're going to do 200 of freestyle. We'll drop that intensity down. And then we're going to do a 200 of easy choice of stroke. And I mean real easy, just to cool off, flush out the system. And then do your stretch off in the pool, relax a little bit, maybe swim a little bit more. It's 2,500 in total. So make sure you're ready to go for our technique and speed sessions, which are coming later in the week. Well done, everyone. I will see you all for those. If you want to get involved in our technical and speed sessions, they'll be coming up later in the week on our Patreon channel, which is patreon.com/Camswim Club. I would love to see you all there.
I'm sure that the water won't mind if we rest here for the night and leave before sunrise.